button, and we have something called hobbies. And in this hobbies we have options like you can select one or more option. So you will see a small box like this, and you will see some options. So this is called, what is this? Yeah, I'm not seeing the response from Jesse. Okay, yeah, I'm seeing. Okay, so this is called, so if I have one checkbox, I mean this is a checkbox, so I can write here cricket, and I can add some more options, whatever options I want. So maybe I can add one more option called chess or whatever. Okay, so the difference between radio button and the checkbox is, so here, so this is a radio button where you can select only one thing, only one option. But whereas in checkbox, either you can select this one or you can select both the options. So that is called checkbox. That is the difference between checkbox and the radio button. And then you will see one more thing called where you can enter your address. Okay, so where you can enter the address, you will see a something called a big text box. What is this one? So so anyone has any idea on this? What is, so I got only one response. This is not a message box, and I got one correct response from, this is not a list box. Yeah, I got one response from Nikhil, and I got one response from Padmini. Both are correct. So this is called a text area. So this is called text area. So I'll quickly summarize. So whatever you see here, so this is a text box, this is a drop down list, this is a radio button, this is a checkbox, and this one is text area. Okay, and what will be there at the bottom? So let's assume that at the bottom of this page, so, or let me put this way, so let me copy this, let me move this here, and let me move this little bit up, and let me move this here. Okay, so now I have at the bottom here, so I'll have something like this, and I'll have here, so what is this one? Yeah, so that is, yeah, all of you are correct. So that is that I'll be having some text here, so I'll have something like this, save. That is a button. So this is a form. So I'll have, we need to design this page right now. So by the end of this class, you should be very clear in designing this in HTML. Okay, so let's get started. So we are going to design this form and pure static form, and we'll see how we can do that. Okay, so let's get started. So first I need to write here, so I need to write here name, and adjacent to that I need to write here what I'm saying here. I need a text box. So for text box, the code is, I need to give here input type is equal to text, and I need to give some name for all the controls. So this is called a control. So for all the controls in HTML, you have to give a name for it. So you have to give a name for it, because imagine you have 3-4 text boxes, you have to differentiate between them. So you have to give a name for it. Name, I normally give like this, txt, so it is a text box, so I'm giving txt as a prefix, txt, and this text box is for name, so I'm giving name. Okay, so I'll close the input tag. So this is how we need to write. So I need to give input type is equal to text for text box, and name is equal to txt name, and close the input tag. So if I save it, and if I open in browser, so let me double click on this. So if I open in browser, I can see that here, so I have a name and I'm seeing a text box. So here I can enter Meghna or whatever. So this is the use of a text box. So text box, the simple code is input type is equal to text. So I'm done with this name. So next I need a drop down list for branch. So let me select branch, and here for a drop down list, so the code HTML code for those who knows it without doing Google can help me here. You should not do Google for a drop down list. What is the code for a drop down list? Okay, so I need to write here select drop down list alone. In HTML it's a bit different. So select name is equal to, I need to give DDL branch, and then I need to give here option, and I can give here what will be the branch electronics. And see here, if I'm giving something wrong, so let's see whether I'll get it or not. So I'm giving one option, so let me give multiple options, and then close this, select. Okay, so let me save it and then refresh it and see whether I'm getting this or not. I'm getting it. Okay, so I got a question. So will not have type for this. Okay, so for this one, for whatever you are seeing here, we don't have input type. We have the tag called select tag. So normally for other controls we have input type, but for this one we have a different syntax. So which is actually here we need to give like this. We need to give select, and we need to give some name for it, and inside that we need to give options. This is the code for drop down list. So I can write here computer science. This itself is little different. Okay, so this is how you need to write here. What if I have another question. If I want to see the branch below name. Okay, good question. So if you want to see the branch below name, yeah, that is how we normally wanted to see. We don't want to see name and branch adjacent to that. So we need to add a BR tag. BR tag is, we need to add like this. Okay, so in C# or any other programming languages, we have something called /n. So here we don't have /n. We need to use a BR tag. BR is called break tag. So when I use BR tag and I can refresh it, I can see that these are different. So it's almost like touching it. So if you want to have some more gap, you can use another BR tag. You can save it. And then I can rename. I can double click on this. See, now I can see this properly. Name and branch, I can select whatever branch I need. Okay, so I got another question. What is txt name and DDL branch? So I'm giving a name for it. So even this is not required. Even if you don't give this, it will work for you. But it's always a good practice to give some name for all the controls. So the reason why I'm giving this here txt is you can give simply name. You don't need to give txt. I normally give txt prefix with txt because in case if I see this, by seeing this itself I should be able to tell what control is this. If I see this name itself, I can tell, okay, this is a drop down list because the name is DDL. For a text box I'm giving txt name. Okay, so it's a good practice to prefix with whatever control you want, so that by seeing the name itself you can tell this is a text box. Okay, so let me put here an option and type here select branch. Okay, and here I'm going to put here option electrical. Okay, I'm done. So now if I save it and if I refresh it, you can see that I have proper name and I have select branch, so I can select whatever branch I want. So this is how you normally give for HTML HTML drop down list. Okay, now what is next one for us? So we have something called radio button for medium. So for that, what you need to do is you need to type medium, and remember I had to give a BR tag, otherwise I'll get the radio button adjacent to the drop down list. So I need to give a BR tag, and for medium what I need is input type is equal to radio. Input type is equal to radio, and name is equal to RD medium. And I'll close this, and I'll give the, what is that, first I need to give English, and I need to close this input. So let me save it and see the difference. So let me save it and check whether I'll get this or not. So I'm getting here one radio button with option English, so I need to get another radio button. So for that I need to go here and I need to give another one. So remember, for radio buttons, if you have multiple radio buttons, you have to give the same name. So here I'm copy pasting it. I have to give the same name for both of this. If I give different name, I'll show you what happens. So I need to give this here French. So I gave same name now. So let me save it and then go to HTML. So now I can see that I have two options. So when I click on, I'm going to select only one of these. So that is the use of radio button. So you can only select one option. So you cannot select both the options. So if you don't give the same name here, for example, if I'm giving RD medium and if I'm giving some other name here, RD medium 1, so if I save it, so I can able to select both the options. So I don't want to do that. So see here, I'm able to select both the options, which I don't want to select both the options. In that case, that is the reason why you have to give same name for radio button. Okay. So you want to select only one option, so you have to give the same name for both the radio buttons. So input type equal to radio, name is equal to this, and inside this you're writing English. Okay, so this is how we need to write for actually when you're using Visual Studio, you don't need to remember all these things. See now, when I use Visual Studio, but don't do it in Visual Studio at least for today, so that you can remember the tags. So it's always good to remember the tags. So at least very few tags, not all the tags. So file, new project. So till now we used to select C# console application. So all the time we are doing C# console application. But now what you need to select is, you need to select, for those who are having Visual Studio 2013, they need to come down, they need to select web and Visual Studio 2012, and then need to select ASP.NET Empty Web Application. For those who have any previous version of Visual Studio, they can simply select web, and inside that they can select ASP.NET Empty Web Application. So select this ASP.NET Empty Web Application, click on OK. Once you select ASP.NET Empty Web Application, all you need to do is you can right click on this web application, add new item. So you need to click on add new item. You can actually select, or very simple, I'll tell the other way. So let's not worry about creating this project now. You might get confused at this stage. Okay, let me open this Visual Studio.